Good afternoon. I'm pleased to provide an update on garbage collection and some additional actions we will take to address the ongoing challenges. Before doing that, though, let me just pay tribute and offer thanks to the workers of the waste management section who I've had the privilege of spending time with over the past few weeks. These are dedicated and committed workers who take pride in their work under some very trying circumstances. They do a good job, and I will not tolerate any abuse directed to them. Now, to recap, the work to rule was lifted last week, so staff are back to work, working overtime to try and keep up with garbage collection. The net result of that is still an unsatisfactory state of affairs, as we are unable to fully complete designated collection in any one day. The island is divided into 24 zones, 12 in the west and 12 in the east. It will come as no surprise to anyone that with an average of 7 trucks in service to complete 12 zones, that is mission impossible. The actual process has seen garbage partially collected in the west on Mondays to be followed by completion on Tuesday mornings before those same workers can begin the eastern zone collections. A similar situation occurs on Thursdays and Fridays in the east. Clearly, this plan is unsustainable, as it does not allow proper time for regular truck maintenance, let alone any repairs. There are a number of contributing factors that we can do to make things better. Cut back trees along private estate roads, as this causes damage to our vehicles, smashed windscreens and mirrors. Do not place garbage out before collection day. Do not place too much garbage in a bag that one man cannot carry. Do not place dangerous or prohibited items in garbage. Do not place garbage in paper bags, and do not put out recyclables on non-collection days. The law is clear. Garbage cannot be put out earlier than 7:30 p.m. the night before or no later than 7:30 a.m. on collection days. So if you arrive after 7:30 a.m. and all your neighbor's garbage has already been collected, then you must take it back home and secure it until the next collection day, or alternatively deliver it yourself to Tynes Bay Public Drop-Off. I've attached 2 photographs I took on Sunday on my way to work. No one should be putting out their trash on a Saturday or Sunday, well before any scheduled collection. At this stage, I am asking members of the public to help us help themselves by being considerate of their neighbors and our workers. If that does not work, then we shall resort to law enforcement and prosecution of those who refuse to follow the law. Now, what other actions are we going to take to alleviate the current problem? Interviews are being conducted today for the first 5 additional staff being recruited in this first batch of new hires. A team inclusive of a driver and a worker will travel overseas by month end to select the next batch of garbage trucks. We will purchase 5 of them. To be clear, though, there is a lengthy lead time involved, so it will likely be November before they arrive on island. Following consultation with the BIU and the staff of Waste Management, this Wednesday, February 14th, we will have an island-wide blitz with every truck in the ministry, with assistance from the hustle truck workers, covering the entire island to clear all the garbage from every neighborhood. Additionally, effective Monday, February 19th, we will revert to once-a-week garbage collection for a 10-week period to April 27th. This time will allow us to conduct a full assessment of the trucks that are serviceable, conduct extensive repairs, complete the TCD relicensing process, and return a larger number into the operational fleet. Regular monitoring will occur during this period, and the necessary adjustments will be made. The aim here is to rid the country of garbage, manage the expectations of the public by not falsely promising twice weekly collection when that is virtually impossible to accomplish at this time. A full media blitz to alert the public of these new procedures will occur so that everyone is aware of the steps being taken to address the problem. We will continue the deliberations with our union partners to devise new ways to combat the problem. We believe this is a sensible approach, and as is my custom, I shall keep the public informed of any adjustments to this plan. Thank you.
Testing, testing.
Good afternoon, Minister.
Good afternoon.
So just to confirm a couple of things, you said work to roll was ended last week, that's correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And the Blitz is, I guess, on the 14th, so
Day after
all
tomorrow.
backlogged garbage will be off the island.
That is our expectation. Yep.
Curious about the reverting to once a week. Will that be Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, Friday, or do we know which days of the week that'll be?
I don't know at this stage, but it most likely will be Monday, Tuesday in the west, and Thursday, Friday in the east. But that schedule is being worked on by those people who do that, and we'll release that long before the end of this week.
I see that the interviews have commenced today for the 5 new hires.
Yeah,
Just to confirm, those are 5 new waste collection positions.
that's correct.
Okay. Also, I see 5 trucks. The purchase of 5 trucks is forthcoming. I know in the past, BIU President Chris Ferbert had said that there had been some worker concerns over the size of the
Yes.
trucks currently.
Yes.
Any consideration? Will these be the larger size trucks that workers are used to?
When you say larger size trucks, the concern really, I think, of the president of the union and ourselves is the amount of waste they can actually carry.
Okay.
And so, yes, the short answer is yes. This is the reason why we are having a team of all of the stakeholders in garbage collection go and see and test and drive and select the next batch of garbage trucks that we will purchase.
Is there an amount that has been allocated to the purchase of those vehicles?
They're about $90,000 apiece,
Okay.
so $450,000.
Does anybody else want to get in?
Yeah, I have a question.
And I'd like to come back if I could.
Is there a time frame?
Mike, because it,
Is there a time frame, Minister, to have the 5 additional staff on board in place?
I have a 3-week deadline, and we're on day 8. So yes, I expect that they will be hired within that 3-week time frame. The people who have been selected are people who applied to the ministry some time ago. So we're not advertising, even though we've had some new applications that have been submitted since my last conference. What we did was to go back into the files and pull out people who had applied some time ago, so their vetting and all of that process is already taken. And what we've been able to do is to eliminate the advertising time. So I expect that by the end of next week is my deadline, next week Friday, but I expect long before then that they will be hired.
You mentioned previously that you had given the clearance for these people to be hired back in, I think, November or something.
October.
October, and there was no action.
That's correct.
Has any knuckles been wrapped here? Or
There have been a few knuckles wrapped. Clearly you will appreciate that that's probably the extent of my personal ability as a minister in that I can hire or fire anyone. But I have certainly written, in the case of the people outside of the ministry, to the Cabinet Secretary to lodge my formal complaint, and that process is ongoing. But internally within the ministry, I have voiced my displeasure to those people who did not bring it to my attention that, you know, three months in, they're still waiting for approval from somewhere else. And it's fair to say that I don't think that will happen again.
I'm getting word that part of the problem that caused the work to rule to come about was that some of the workers were not being paid overtime. Is any truth there?
There's no truth to that at all. What they are being paid is that the case? No. There's no truth to that at all, as far as I am aware. We budget for overtime. I have been. If they're not being paid overtime, I'd like to know where the money's going, because I sign on a regular basis to wire money from unfilled posts to overtime. So I don't think that that is correct.
Barnews, did you have any questions? Io, did you have any questions?
Yeah, I guess should ask this one. Minister, there's some chat around that there were funds actually allocated for new trucks in the last budget. Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about that? Can you clarify?
I think there was funds allocated for 2 new trucks in the current budget.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry. We are at the end of the financial year, so I'm wiring money across for 3 additional trucks so that we can purchase 5.
Okay, so obviously those trucks haven't arrived yet. The ones that
were they weren't ordered.
Oh, they weren't ordered.
No, they weren't ordered.
Sorry, can you elaborate on why that didn't?
I have no clue. You'd have to ask those people that were in this post before me and us.
Thank you.
Again, Minister, there was word that the OBA government had allocated funds for 10 new trucks in March. Are you aware?
I'm not aware, but they didn't spend not one penny of that money to order 1 truck. So you might want to ask whoever the minister was in March, why not? I can tell you that in sitting in this seat for 6.5 months now, maybe, I'm getting a little tired of having to clean up stuff that was not. I expect that things will be held over, but I can tell you that there are a number of issues that did not receive attention whilst they were in government, and we are having to address them. And some of those date back to 2016.